which created more problems. I bought this Renault Laguna for £500, specially for my wife driving test. In the UK, you can take your driving test in your own personal vehicle, so I thought it would be a cost-effective option for her to practice in and eventually use it for the test. The car had 180,000 miles when I bought it, and now it has 195,000, but there was an issue with the engine, which I was fully aware of at the time of the purchase. When I drove the car home, I noticed it was in limp mode, which meant the engine wasn't performing as it should. I didn't know exactly what was the cause of the issue at first, but I was determined to figure it out. Once I got home, I started inspecting the car and discovered that the hose from the turbo actuator was strangled, restricting airflow and causing the limp mode. Fortunately, it was a quick fix. I unclogged the hose and reconnected it, and within about 5 minutes the car was back to normal. After that, it ran much smoother and was ready for my wife to use for practice. Despite the high mileage and initial issues, the car ended up working out perfectly for what we needed, and we were able to get her ready for the test without any further problems. Okay, now we got into the car and I will show you what the issue is. But first, let's start by turning the engine on. Even though I'm not in the car and pressing the pedal, as you can see the brake lights stay on, which is a safety concern and I'll have to get it fixed. I think I might know what the issue is, but let's scan the car for codes first. At Renault Laguna, you find the OBD port in the armrest. Bring the OBD in. And it finished scanning, and now let's take each one of the modules and see what is actually wrong with them. Airflow sensor circuit, we have a heating element connection, brake switch signal consistency, pedal active pedal contact circuit. Well, that is not very good, but we will see what that means in a minute. Before I will do anything, I will clear up all the codes to see if the brake light turns on. If it does turn on, it was just a glitch in the ECU. If it doesn't, it means there is something mechanical that I have to look at. After digging through the software, I was able to find some good information about our issue. Let's go to the ABS, and now let's press read data stream. And now in this menu you will see brake pedal. If we press OK, now it says the brake pedal is pressed, when in fact it's not. Now it's pressed, now it's depressed, so it means there is something in the system that is broken. It might be the switch itself, or it might have another switch, or that could be from the ECU, or could be something bigger than that, maybe a wire or something, but that's a lot harder to diagnose. Now I'm gonna turn on the engine, and I'll go at the back of the car to see if the brake light is still on, and it pretty much is. If I remember correctly, when I first bought the car, I had to replace two switches. One was the brake switch and the clutch switch, which both are underneath the dash, which is not very hard to access. Because the brake lights are staying on all the time, we want to focus on the brake light switch first. Okay guys, I just want to warn you, you won't see this very well because I can't put a phone in any way, so I'll just do my best. And there you go. And this is the switch. Unfortunately, I don't really. And with the switch removed, our brake light shouldn't be on anymore. If it is on, it means there is another issue. I will first start up the car, and I'm going back at the car to see if the light is still on. And as you can see, the light is still on, which isn't good news. At this point, I started to get concerned. I thought it would be a lot easier than it actually is. the switch isn't the problem. So now I have to dig deeper to find out what the real problem is. After I've put the switch back on, I'll do an old trick which might sometimes work, sometimes won't. That is to disconnect the battery for a few seconds or a few minutes and let the system reset, because you know these cars have so much electronics in them and you never know if anything goes wrong and what is going wrong with them.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, so we haven't fixed the car. Besides that, we've created more problems. This is a well-known problem by me because I've had this problem in the past with the previous Laguna. It was the same model, and I pretty much know what to do in this case. Battery charging fault is the brake light is off. The bad news is we've created another problem which I will cover in the next episode. Before doing anything, I will do it again. I will remove the negative terminal of the battery. I will leave it as is for a few minutes and see if the car comes back to normal. And after removing the negative terminal of the battery, now I've put it back on, and let's see what the car does when I put the ignition on. Well, it does the same thing. Thank you for watching this video. I will cover that fault in the next video because I know what it's about, and this is very complicated if you don't know what to do. I will teach you how to solve this problem quickly without diagnosing. Okay, thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next one.